Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dftg 1392 Rivet Architecture. And today we are going to start creating the model. Okay, so I'm glad all of you guys have showed up. I'm really excited about teaching you guys this semester. We are getting ready to do some great things. Okay, so first things first, we're going to show you guys how to open up files. Okay, uh, what you see is this is the interface when you open up Rivet. Yours is going to be a little bit different because I've been working in projects and I use specified project templates based on the type of project that I'm working on. But I'm going to show you how to open up a project, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to start creating the model. Okay, so first things first, once you open up the Rivet software, you want to come over here and where it says models, okay, on the menu to the left, you want to go ahead and click on new, okay? And what it's going to say, it's going to say new project here, okay? I have customized templates loaded, okay? So what you want to do is you want to select architectural template, okay? And then after you select architectural template, you want to make sure that you select Imperial, okay? It's going to say Imperial. Mine is a little bit customized, so it's not going to show here exactly like it's showing on your drawing, but as long as you go in, you'll see the word architectural template. Just click the down arrow and select architectural template. For me, that's the Residential Soul 2024 template. Like I said, mine is a little bit customized, but you should see architectural template right here. And then once you select that, you want to make sure that you select Imperial, okay? If it's not already, I think 2024 it comes standard, but if it gives you the option to select metric or Imperial, then you want to make sure you select Imperial because we are not drawing in the metric standards. Imperial is feet and inches, okay? We're not drawing in meters. Even though there are some companies that do elect to draw in meters, for the most part in the architectural industry, a, uh, a foot and inches values is what is going to be used. And when you do work for a company that use metric values, they'll specify as such, okay? So you want to go ahead and click on architectural template and make sure you have the imperial value selected and click open, okay? And what that is going to do for you, it's going to open up a brand new architectural template. Again, for this portion and this portion only, mine is going to show a little bit different from yours, but fear not, it's all the same, okay? So when you open up your model, you're going to get this interface. And hopefully you guys went over the interface last week. That's why I actually uploaded that video, so you guys can have some familiarity rolling into what we're going to be working on this week, which is the beginning of the creation of the model, okay? So what you guys will see is when you open up this Rivet architectural template, you will have a window something like this, okay? You won't have the reference planes drawn, so I'm going to hide them here. And this is something I can show you guys. It's called hiding things in view. If you are familiar with AutoCAD, it's kind of similar to toggling layers on and toggling layers off, right? So what you'll do to do this quick and dirty, because there is a portion of Rivet where you can actually go in and create layers, and you can assign different layers to different attributes, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I think that's like around module 4 or module 5. So just keep it simple today. If you have something in your drawing that looks like this is what's called a reference plane. And I don't want to say turn them off. If you have reference planes already in your model, you want to go ahead and select them and delete them, okay? Right now, we don't need them shown here. And these are all text and things that I use for a specified template. We won't be using this stuff in this model because you guys are working in a more simplistic template. I do real world projects, so a lot of the times my templates are going to be based on the projects that I'm working on and based on the specifications of that company that I'm doing contracts with or contracts for. So let's just keep it clean and simple here. Let's just delete anything that's in there, and you guys will probably have some elevation markers. Just leave those alone for right now. Okay, first things first, we're going to go ahead and start drawing the model. Um, you know, first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually draw the walls. And if you went over the video last week, you know you have architectural template, you have the structural template, you have the steel template, precast, insert, annotate, collaborate, master, and insight. I won't go over them all. I just wanted I wanted you guys to kind of have a brief overview of them all. This is why I wanted you to watch that video last week. The way it works is we'll go through each tab as we draw the model. That's the best way to learn. And plus, it will provide some repetition for you, as when you're drawing walls, you'll draw more than once, okay? So first things first, let's go ahead and draw the architectural walls, okay? And what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover architectural walls. We're going to show you guys how to use the selection box. We're going to show you guys how to use the mirroring function, the create similar function. We're going to actually show you guys how to use the start and end radius arc function when drawing walls. We're going to go over the view cube, okay? We're going to show you guys how to manipulate the scale of a project. And we're going to show you guys how to turn off and on the project browser, which is over here, and the properties menu. We'll get more into that as we matriculate. We'll show you guys how to actually look at the 3D view once we draw the walls, okay? And we're going to show you guys, how to put in elevation markers and how to, toggle the graphic display options, right? So first things first, okay? What did I want to cover? First things first, we're going to start drawing walls, okay? And I want you guys to follow me verbatim. I'm going to draw something and I'll be explaining different things that's associated with drawing that particular thing. And I'm also going to explain some different things that are not associated with drawing that particular thing, okay? So first things first, we like to use hot commands, okay? So you can actually come and click on the architecture tab. And what you can do is we want to draw a wall first. So first things first, you want to come here and you want to click on the wall icon. And if you hover over it, okay, you see the word wall here, and you see that those two letters in parentheses, that is the hot command to activate the wall icon. What is hot command? Hot commands is when you can just type in WA and it'll activate the wall icon versus you coming over here and actually clicking it. Hot commands is something I am going to, require you guys to use in this class, because as stated, in this course, in this software, in the field of architecture, time is money. So we want to make sure that you're, maximizing your level of efficiency by using hotkeys and hot commands, okay? So instead of clicking the wall icon, go ahead and type in WA, and now you see the wall icon has already turned on and has become active, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go and you want to click exterior brick. And I have a bunch of different walls in mind, okay? But what you guys are going to be using is exterior brick on CMU, okay? Okay, exterior brick with the 2x6-inch stud, all right? So you want to go ahead and click that wall, okay? You can click exterior. You want to have this one, exterior brick 2 sides, but go ahead and click exterior brick with CMU block base. That's what you guys are going to have in your drawings, okay? So let's scroll down. Let's go over all the wall types. We have curtain walls. We have generic 8 wall, generic 6-inch wall, generic 12-inch walls. And then we have the bricks and things of that nature. Again, I do have some, customized walls loaded into my template because I do all different types of exterior walls. But the wall type that you want to select is exterior brick on CMU, okay? Exterior brick on CMU. So once you have that wall type selected, okay, you want to come into the drawing menu and you want to just click in, okay? And as you can see, you have your wall command active, okay? So let me hit escape to get out of it. I just wanted to show you guys how to start drawing a wall. Let's go ahead and click in, and you're going to drag to the left. And this wall, we want this wall to be 100 feet. So Rivet actually works in feet instead of inches. If you're familiar with AutoCAD, if you type in a value and hit enter, it's going to put that value in inches. Whereas in Rivet, it's going to put that value in feet. So we want this wall right here to be 100 feet. As you can see, you can drag it out and you can kind of stop it at 100 feet. But for time purposes, okay, you want to just go ahead and type in 100 while the wall command is active, and then you hit enter. And now you have that wall. It is actually 100 feet long. Okay, if you select it, it'll tell you that this wall is 100 feet. Okay, so let me undo because I want to actually draw all the walls in uh, as a chain. Okay, so type in WA. Okay, and see this option right here, chain? You want to make sure you have this option selected. If you don't have that option selected, then it's going to draw your walls separately. So if I go here and I typed in 100 and hit enter, now I have to go back and I got to click right here. I have to go ahead and click here to draw another wall that's going to be connected to that wall. You follow me? So you want to make sure you have chain connected, because let me give you a demonstration of how that would actually work. Okay, so let's delete this guy, all right? And let's start over. Type in WA, and I wanted to show you guys how the chain function works. Or hit escape and make sure you type in WA, and make sure you check the chain function back on, turn it back on. So you want to come here, you want to click here, and type in 100, and hit enter. And then you want to drag your wall of northward. You see how the chain function works? The walls are connected together, right? So you want to come up here and type in 80. Okay, and you guys can just follow me along in the video. We are actually building the model. Okay, now you want this wall to be equivalent to the first wall that you drew. So instead of typing in 100, you can just drag it. And you see the blue dashed line? That lets you know that that wall is in alignment with the wall that you drew down below. That's what that blue dashed line means. So instead of typing in 100, you can just click there. Okay, and the wall is still being drawn in as a chain. So you can come and drag the wall down southward and type in 16 for 16 feet. And then let's drag the wall eastward and type in 16 again for 16 feet. Okay, then get out of that command. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and what Rivet is doing is once you have begun to draw in Rivet, you will see that while you're drawing the 2D plans, it's actually creating the 3D model. So let's go up to the top right here. Okay, see at the top right here, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but it's at the top right here. Okay, you see this 3D house? Just click on it. And it's going to give you a three-dimensional view of the walls that you had just drawn. Okay, it's going to give you a three-dimensional view of the walls that you had just drawn. Okay. Now, first things first, if your walls, you should have walls that have a gray bottom and a red top, okay? You should have those types of walls, right? So now what I want to do is go here and let's go to hidden line, okay? Let's go to hidden line. And let's see, let's pause it right. Okay. So let's go click this little cube right here. See this little cube at the bottom? It says visual styles. You would click that cube, okay? And you can turn this wall into a wireframe, okay? Or if you go back and you click that little cube, you can tell this wall that you want it to be shaded, okay? Or you can go back and click that cube and tell it that you want it to be consistent colors. It's going to put actual color and the texture to it, okay? But we'll get into that a little bit later. I just really wanted you guys to see it. Actually go back and put it on hidden line, okay? That way your computers are not working too slow. But I wanted you guys to see something as it regards how Rivet actually creates a 3D model, okay? So now, before we go back to the to the first floor plan, I want to show you guys something. You see this wall, how you have the brick on the exterior, okay? And see this wall around the backside, and what you can do is if you press down the wheel on the mouse button and you hold down the shift key, you can orbit around the model. So just press down the wheel and hold down the shift and you can orbit around the model. If you just want to pan, just press down the wheel and then you can just pan around. But if you need to orbit the model, press down the wheel, hold down shift, and orbit around the model, okay? And if you just want to move it around, just press the wheel down. That's how you pan the model around. But check this out. Sometimes the walls will come in inverted. These came in right, so I'm going to invert it, okay? Say it came in like that, and you have your brick on the exterior, and on this side, what you have is the brick wall on the interior. Well, you know that's not supposed to be like that, right? So what you want to do is you want to select that wall, and then what you do is to flip the wall is you hit the space bar, and now the brick is on the right side of the wall, okay? So now let's go ahead and view that in plan, but before we do, I'm going to show you guys how to view multiple windows at once. You can type in the W for, let's just say, west, and T for tall, and that's called window tile, okay? That way you can look at your floor plan and your 3D model all at once, okay? And when you're getting ready to get out of it, just close the window that you don't want to see, okay? So let's go back to the model right here, all right? You have all of these walls, and let's display how that function works in plan, okay? Say if this wall was flipped in like this. You see the hatch line right here? That's the brick side of the wall. So you know it needs to be on the outside. So you can select it, hit the space bar, boom, there it is. Your brick is on the outside. Also, you can select the wall. You see these arrows right here? You can hit the arrows and toggle them as well, okay? So just a little caveat as we matriculate forward. Now, we're going to show you guys how to use the mirror function. And this is another tool that has been utilized in the Rivet setting to actually save time, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a reference plane, okay? A reference plane. And what you're going to do to activate that command, you're going to type in RP, okay? And see over here in the properties menu, it says reference plane, okay? And we'll go over the properties menu in a second here. So what you want to do is you want to come zoom in on the west wall, okay? And you want to select where it says midpoint. Whenever you see a triangle on something, on the end it's going to show a square that lets you know that you're on the end point. When you get to the midpoint of a wall or whatever you're trying to get to the midpoint of, that midpoint triangle is going to show up. So let's draw a reference plane, okay? And you want to stretch it out eastward, okay? And when you select it after you draw it, you have these little pulleys, I call them, these little brown, round little deals here, okay? And you can grab those, and I call them selection boxes or selection circles, okay? And you can actually name the reference point. So you can actually click it and then click in here and just say center. Because you will get to a point where you have so many reference points or reference planes in your model, you will have to name them, okay? And it's just a reference plane. It's not a part of the drawing. If you actually click back into the 3D setting, you'll see the reference plane is not there, okay? So go back to the first floor plan. It is there. And why are we doing this, okay? Let's say if we had all of this top portion of the building drawn, and let's just say, let's take this wall and click it and delete it, okay? So what we can do to save time is you can use the mirror command. And the way you activate the mirror command is by typing MM, okay? And then you want to select the items that you want to mirror, and you can select multiple items. Let's start over. Let's say you type in MM, and you select this wall, and you want to select this wall as well. Well, what you do to select this wall, because if you select this wall without doing something special, you can only select one wall. But if you want to select multiple walls, two ways you can do it. You can drag, okay, and select all three of those walls, or you can type in MM for mirror and select this wall and hold down the control key and select this wall and hold down the control key and select this wall, okay? If you wanted to deselect the wall, you hold down the shift key while you're in the mirror command and you can deselect the wall. But let's select them all while we're in the mirror command. And what you have to do now is tell it that you want to mirror these walls about this center axis. So once you select this center axis, let's see, MM. And it's not working. Mm. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to select the walls that you want to mirror, and then you want to type in and then select the axis that you want to mirror them about. Okay, so there you have the same walls that were at the top. They're now drawn at the bottom. If you click on the 3D tab, you'll see now that you have the same exact walls. Okay, and again, don't fret. Your walls are going to be a little bit different. You're going to have a brick top and a CMU base at the bottom. Okay, so that's what your wall is going to look like. So let's go ahead and close the 3D tab. All right. The next thing we want to do is we want to draw another wall from here to here, but this wall we're going to use the start in radius arc tool, okay? So you type in WA to activate the wall command, and see up here at the top under the draw menu, what you want to do is you want to select the start in radius arc tool. So select it, and then you want to come, okay? And you see this location line? Okay, it says core, wall center line, finished face exterior, okay? For this one, let's go with the wall center line, okay? That way you come to the center of the wall and you select it, okay? And then you drag it down, and then you snap to the center of the wall. Now keep in mind you have the start in radius arc button selected while you're in the wall command this time. And now you're getting ready to draw an arc, and you want to make sure that arc is at 180 degrees and is actually going to snap there for you. But you can actually, just type it in, hit enter. Wait, let's go back and redo it. Type in WA for wall, okay? Make sure wall center line is selected, okay? And there's one thing I forgot to show you. I'm gonna go back and show you. You want to snap here, and then what did I forget to do? And I did that on purpose, because a lot of you will make that mistake and be like, oh, what did I do wrong? So delete that wall. Make sure you type in the wall command, okay? And make sure you have wall center line selected. And the one thing you have to do is you have to tell it what type of wall you want it to draw. Right now, you're drawing a straight wall, okay? You can draw square walls, you can draw rectangle walls. Right now, we want to select start in radius arc. You want to select the center. You want to drag down, select the center, and just snap the wall out to 80 degrees, okay? Now you can select the wall and you can change the radius here if you want to, but it's just easier to go ahead and snap it. It'll snap to a specific degree for you. We'll draw other arcs on the other portion, on the west wing of the building, where we'll show you how to manipulate that in detail. I don't want to overwhelm you guys thus far, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing just for this week, okay? And when you click the 3D view, you now see that you have the walls of your building drawn. Now, let's talk about the properties menu, okay? And we'll go over this because this is something that you guys are we're going to talk about the properties menu. We're going to talk about the project browser. We're going to talk about the view cube and how you use that, okay? So properties menu, it is what it is, okay? If you select the wall, then everything regarding to that wall is going to be in this properties menu, okay? So you select the wall, it's going to tell you what type of wall, okay? It's a basic wall, brick on 2x6 stud. Yours is going to be exterior brick on CMU, okay? But you can change that wall, okay? If you wanted to change that wall type, you select that wall, you come down here to the drop down menu, and say if you wanted a curtain wall, or say if you wanted something like just a regular 6-inch wall. Now you have a regular 6-inch wall. We typically don't use that on the exterior, we use that on the interior, but I just want to show you guys how you can actually change the wall types, okay? So you want to go back to exterior brick on 2x6 for me, and for you, exterior brick on CMU, okay? So you want to go back to that, and then you want to select the wall again, and the base constraint, it says finish first floor. I don't want to get into too much of that right now because I don't want to confuse you guys. I just want you guys to, get a familiarity with the properties menu. and how you manipulate that, okay? And then it'll tell you the top constraint. So you can take this wall and drag it up if you want to. And as you can see, the top constraint has changed. Now it's got, this wall is 31 feet high. If you wanted that wall to be 12 feet high, you would come here and just type in 12 and hit enter, and that wall would drop down to 12 feet, okay? And this is where we're going to use, or the menu that we're going to use when we want to manipulate things, okay? So let's undo that, keep our wall similar. Now, it's one other thing that I want to show you, and that is called the hide in view command, okay? So say if you had a lot of things on the interior of your building, and because we are building a 3D model, we're going to build an entire building. It's going to have interior walls. It's going to have furniture. Well, sometimes things can be pretty hard to see. So what you can do is you can select this and right click, and you can go to hide in view and select elements, okay? Now that portion of your wall has been hidden in the view, okay? So if you had something in this wall that you really needed to see, like an interior wall or a plumbing fixture or something like that, then you would actually see it, okay? And what you can do to turn it back on is you'll come down here. You see this little light bulb? This is the reveal hidden elements icon. So you select it, and it's going to have in red what's been turned off in that view. So you can select it, right click, and go to unhide in view and click elements. And now that wall is turned back on. You turn the reveal hidden elements icon off, and as you can see, the wall is now back where it should be, okay? So that's pretty much it for this lesson. Let's talk about the project browser. This is where you're going to browse everything, okay? This is where every drawing that you create, every drawing that you make, it's going to show up in this project browser. For example, we just drew the floor plan, right? So you can click on the floor plan here. Say if this was closed and you was just in 3D mode. You can come here, okay, and it'll show you whichever one that that's highlighted. It'll show you, okay, what drawing you're in. So sometimes you have to expand it, okay? All of these things, they contract and expand, okay? So sometimes you have to come in and expand it. I say as soon as you open up the drawing, just expand everything. That way when you're in a drawing and you're looking for it, you can find it. But right now you see 3D is emboldened. It's very dark. That lets you know the drawing that you're in. So say you wanted to look at the floor plan. So you would come here and you click floor plan. And now, as you can see, first floor plan is the darkened or emboldened name because that's the view that you're in. So if we close this 3D view, now the floor plan is already uh, in bold letters because that's the view that you're looking at. So that's what the project browser is. You know, first things first, I don't want to get too detailed in it because I don't want to get you guys too confused. But yeah, whatever drawing that you're in, let's just say if you was looking at the left elevation, okay, and we'll get into that next week, but this is the left elevation of the building. As you can see, this is the wall that we've drawn, okay, and that left elevation is in bold letters because that is letting you know that that is the drawing that you are in, okay? So always keep that in mind, all right? So hopefully you guys went over everything with the ribbon last week. Again, we'll get more repetitious with this as we go through the project, and you'll become more familiar with it as well. Let's talk about the scale. This is the floor plan. Most floor plans are drawn at 1/4 of an inch. You see this guy right here? This is the scale of the drawing. Scales are vitally important in architectural drawings because we have to make sure things are to scale. We will get into more detail as to why as we matriculate throughout this course, okay? But what you want to do is you want to go ahead and say if you wanted to change the scale, okay? Because you'll have to put these drawings on a sheet. Sometimes the building is just way too big to put on the sheet and you have to change the scale. So you come here and you click the scale and all of these different scales pop up. So say if we wanted to change this drawing to 1/8 of an inch, then boom, now the drawing is at 1/8 of an inch. You can't see it here, but typically if it's on a sheet, you will actually see that that scale size change. But again, I do not want to give you guys too much, so we'll just keep it at 1/4. I'm just going over some things that we're going to be utilizing, okay? Now, let's talk about the thin lines command, okay? You see this icon here? This is called the thin lines command. The hot command is TL, okay? Typically, we'll get into this when we start doing details, but you see how everything is in bold? If you type in TL here, okay, that turns the thin lines command off. And then you can type in TL here, and that turns the thin lines command on. When you start doing details and you start doing things where you really have to zoom in, it's good to turn the thin lines command off. That way you can see things a lot more clearly versus the thin lines command being on. For example, you see the icon that pops up when you hover above the thin lines command? So when you start drawing details like this, okay, you're going to have to utilize the thin lines command to actually see things that's in the drawing because you have so many building components in the building, okay? But we'll talk more about that later as well. We talked about 3D view, we talked about graphic display options, and we talked about elevation markers. However, I'm not showing them here. You probably already have them in your drawing. So let's go to the annotate tab, okay? And let's go to the view tab. I'm sorry, the view tab. And you see this button right here that says elevation? Click that button, okay? You have two types of elevations. You have building elevations and you have interior elevations. But leave it set on building elevations, okay? So what you would do is you come in and you type building elevation. And if you get that warning, that means that the building elevations has been turned off in your model. So what you do is you type VV, so victory, victory, right? And you go to annotation categories, and this is, where you turn things on and turn things off in your drawing as well. They also work like layers in AutoCAD, but I don't want to get into too much detail here because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. There'll be plenty of times, especially when we get into module number 3, where we're going to cover this expressly. I'm just going through everything that, that could be pertinent at this time, but I could be giving you guys a little bit too much. I don't want to, go over too much right now. But you see, elevations tab, it's turned off. If you turn it on and you click OK, now you see these elevations tabs, okay? And if it's like this, delete it because we like it to be straightforward, okay? So you have one here, and let's talk about the extents here, okay? You have crop region and you have annotation crop, okay? Make sure all of these are turned on. This is your crop region, okay? And what you can do is you can select this and you can manipulate it to show only a portion of the building. And this is the annotation crop. In fact, turn the annotation crop off for now. We'll get into that later because I don't want to give you guys too much and discourage you because that can get a little bit complex right now because it's expressly utilized for when we're adding text to the models and things of that nature. So we'll go over the annotation crop right now, okay? But what you want to do is you want to come here, and this is what's going to be shown in your drawing. And as you can see, all of my elevation markers have been drug off to the side here. So let's go ahead and take them if you need to take them and use what I call the highlight box. You never want to highlight something going this way because then you'll highlight things. Rivet is modeling in 3 dimensions as you draw in 2, okay? So if you highlight, let's just say from left to right, you're only going to highlight what you're seeing in your screen. If you highlight from right to left, you're going to highlight everything that's in your screen and everything that's below it. And I know that does not make any sense right now, but as we matriculate into the drawings, you're going to see. So let's drag from left to right and type in MV for move, okay? Let's move these guys over here, all right? And they don't have to be perfect, okay? And these are your building elevation markers. Let's click that one and delete it. If you have any additional markers, you only need 4 of them, you can delete them, okay? But what you want to do is you want to take this one and you want to line them up, okay, evenly around the building. They don't have to be perfect, but you do want them centered on each elevation, like I'm showing it here. So you can take this one, and you don't actually have to type in the move command, even though you can type in MV to move it. When you actually highlight it from left to right and you hover over it, a quick move tool is going to pop up. So you want to just place it in the center of the wall to the best of your ability. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And we're going to get into this a little bit later. But when you click it, Now you see you have this little line pop up, okay? And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I don't want to get into it in this video. We'll talk about that next week, okay? Now let's go back to the crop region, okay? This is how you crop the view. You want to crop the view, all right? So that way you can tell Rivet what you want to show in the view, okay? So once you crop the view, and what you'll do is you'll come right here. You want to bring this one closer right here. You're going to come down and grab the grips. This is how you move the crop menu. Bring it close to the elevation markers, but you don't want to go past it. If you go past it, then your elevation markers are going to be cropped out of the view. We like to show those on the plan, so make sure you actually can see those when you crop your view. And this will make more sense as we build the building and what it is utilized for, especially the annotation crop. So that's the view that you want to have. You want to have your crop menu. We don't want to show everything, okay, that's over here and way out here, okay? So let's hit Control and Z to undo what I just did, okay? And now what you can do is you can have the view cropped, but you can turn the crop region off. So uncheck this one, and now you know you have your view crop, but it's turned off. And this is very pertinent. We'll determine why it's pertinent as we matriculate throughout the course, okay? So again, go ahead and click your 3D house to see what you've done for today, okay? And we're going to talk about adding some windows and doors. And I'll do something really quick. I'll type in DR for door, and you can place a door right here, okay? And you can type in DR for door. The same with the walls. You have all types of doors in your projects, okay? So you can just scroll down and you can select double doors and you can select different door sizes. Again, you guys don't have all of these door sizes like I have, but you do have some standard default door sizes in your model, okay? So you can come here and put another door right here, okay? And just, if you don't like this door and you like that one, you can type in MA for match, select that door, and then come over and select this door, and now you have the same door, okay? Well, you guys are gonna have some different doors with glass on it at this location. I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to model with this Rivet software, okay? So just, look at the assignment and, view it for what it is, okay? Uh, and actually, I want you to upload a PDF of this. Just read the assignment and it'll tell you what I want you to upload. As the model gets bigger and bigger, we'll start to upload, let's just say, the whole models so I can actually download your models and check them out. But this is what we're going to cover for today. Pretty quick and simple. So thank you guys for showing up for class today. Feel free to contact me if you have any problems or any issues. I think this was a great video. I do have some edits I have to put into it, but I think it's a good video for you guys. So yeah, good stuff. It's been an honor. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you.